Okay, so today I'm going to show you how to amend an existing report, an existing module review or module report. So we're in SharePoint here in the usual place. We've clicked on module review and report, so we've clicked on that link, and this shows all of them. The easiest way to get to yours, to click the filter button, is to R2. Anyway, click the filter button. There we go. Find the ones that are written by you, and then we go from there. So I'm going to jump into an old one, and then we're going to go from there. So I'm just going to edit it. Okay. All right. So a bunch of things you can see. You know, it's been ages since these were created, and you can see there's a bunch of gaps here. Now this is a dead one, so it's not an issue if I edit it, but you know, filling in all of these bits, this will be just like what you do when you create a new one. So you can look at that video if you're excited, but most of these are fairly straightforward. Okay, again, filling in these gaps, and you know, each one of these boxes has a little handy few words to just let you know what should be in there. Now this one's important. So this box which says is there employability, immersive learning, or early assessment, you should have 2 immersive learning modules on your course, one at the beginning of the first year, one at the beginning of the third, and 1 employability module on your program. Everything else we just click done. Okay, this is all about the EE. Almost all of our modules are bonded, so that means that each assessment meets all the learning outcomes. So that is something that we did when we validated our programs, all of our programs. Okay, this is all about the external examiner. Okay, is this module part of a course that has a course-specific regulation? Now, none of ours do. Is this module accredited? Or at least none of ours do in fashion marketing and advertising. Yours might be different. Is this module accredited or a part of an accredited course? Now, only the MSc in marketing has an accreditation in our area, but yours might be different. Was there a cohort extension of this module? Hopefully the answer to that is no. Was there a modification for the assessment for COVID-19? Hopefully no. Hopefully we resolved that last year. So when we do review of data, you might already have some information in here or you might not. But what we're looking here is you edit this by doing something like saying, okay, 2020/2021 review of data, and then you review all of the data. So you might say stuff like, you know, actually, a trend that I have noticed this year is that we have more students achieving higher marks than ever before. So the average has been lifted quite significantly, so we have more first than ever before. So kind of an interesting approach to that. So anyway, you'd write that. Now next year, this information would still be in there. So what we'd have is that review would sit on top of that. So you would have a 2021, 22, you know, review. And that would be then, just like course reports, for example, we'd be able to track back, and we get an anecdotal version of how we review our data. So let me just save that. Any key factors affecting assessment? Now, what we want here is just straight up facts. Nothing to students felt malaise, all those kind of things. Just kind of list what we have. So it might be COVID-19 impacted the students' ability to engage. Great, that's very reasonable. We don't need too much more than that. Students struggled to use technology. Great. So this is the kind of information that we're using to feed into our course and module action plans. Okay. Oh, not many students in this module that year. And of course, you're just listing the number of students out of that total number. That information is available on Quirkers with DIM problems. All right. Now, all of the above is due before boards, the below is due after, but look, if you have the time, you should do them all together. So what we're looking here is for contextual statements. So it's a pretty self-explanatory piece of information here. If you already have information in this box, you would do the same as I did before with a review of data. You'll do a 2020-21 review. Now, it's important that these things are transparent. Now, what we don't want is, let's say we've had poor performance on the module. What we don't want is justification of that poor performance. Well, it's the students. Well, it's COVID. Well, it's tech. Like, we all know those things impact. So it's okay to mention them, but we're not looking for trying to paper over our cracks. What we want for your module report is that we actually get to the meat of the issues, because this information feeds the module action plans, feeds the course report, and feeds the course action plans. It's important that the information is as transparent as possible to the course that it can act on it. It doesn't matter. No one's to blame. The information is what it is, and it just needs resolving. So, sharing of good practice, the same kind of information here. If you've already got text in here, you might think of how you've built on that good practice. Issues and measure, any problems encountered, measures are being proposed to address them. So this is where you might list some things that would feed directly into your module action plan. So for example, shifting from fully digital teaching to blended might go in here. Okay, did you operationalize the USW deal principles and framework in 2021? Well, you make a decision there. And if yes, reflect on your staff and student experience of deal by commenting. So it's okay if it didn't work well, but what we're trying to figure out is why. Now, I think for me, a lot of the issues aren't necessarily with the tech or with teaching online. It's with the idea that hope that it's all temporary, that we're not going to a place where digital teaching becomes a big part of what we do. So have a think about how we might resolve that there. Then, of course, feeding into student engagement. Then we would look at proposed changes. Now, hopefully we'd have none, or if you're doing a minor mod, you might think about what you're going to alter here. And of course, here are all your stats. That's not a great stat. And you can decide whether you're going to archive it. So yeah, let's do it. I'm going to archive that one. And how long will I keep it for? 3 years. And that's that. All you have to do that for is all your modules. So, diolch yn fawr, thank you very much, and see you soon.